My name is Maya, and I'm the program coordinator at Arthritis Consumer Experts. I'm so excited to be joined by Lindsay Knazan today, who will be taking us through an arthritis-friendly mini yoga class, demonstrating different tools and poses that people with arthritis can practice from their homes. Lindsay is a yoga therapist and co-owner of Fierce Studios, home of Fierce Martial Arts and FierceHeart Yoga Therapeutics in Victoria, BC. She is an embodiment specialist who has been helping shift minds and bodies through yoga and mindfulness for 2 decades. As someone who lives with ankylosing spondylitis herself, Lindsay has an uncanny ability to relate to people challenged by chronic pain and to support them in moving towards wellness and ease despite the realities of their disease. Lindsay specializes in therapeutic yoga, a particular style of yoga that is best suited for people with arthritis, one that meets people where they are, works with the science of embodied cognition and somatic awareness while engaging the mind deeply in movement practices. Lindsay is passionate about making yoga and mindfulness more accessible for people with arthritis and autoimmune disorders. So Lindsay, I just want to thank you so much for doing this with us today, for being a part of our Arthritis at Home program, and I will let you take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maya. That was a beautiful introduction. So I'm really happy to be here with you all, and I'm going to just get right to it. But before I do, I just want to share a couple of videos that I just made specifically for you guys to watch before maybe even doing this practice. But if you want to watch after, it's no problem too. But there is a video about the principles of movement, which are kind of like the introduction to getting into therapeutic movement in a healthy way. And these tools are really going to help you embody the awareness and the understanding and the connection to your breath, so that these practices and the movements that I offer you today are going to be the most beneficial and the most safe for your body and your where you're at in your arthritis journey. So I just wanted to put that out there. Maya's going to put those in the links for you so you'll have them. But there will be a couple practices as well, a meditation practice and then a floor arthritis yoga practice. So please feel free to use those tools as well, and I hope that you enjoy those practices. So for today, the only prop you're going to need is one of these. I know everyone typically has one in their house. Maybe it belongs to your dog, but we need a tennis ball. And we're just going to start with a little bit of fascial unwinding. And so I find this is a really beautiful thing to do for people with arthritis, because we all tend to have tension around our pain. And so just getting into the connective tissue a little bit with a little soft fascial work with a ball can kind of open us into getting the juiciness of the lubrication we need to really move well in our yoga practice. So as you know from the Arthritis Society, they say motion is lotion. So we're going to just cultivate a little bit of that right now. So get up against a wall. I'm just going to move the camera here so you can see me. And we're actually going to work down one side and then up the other. And I'm going to do it a little bit quicker than I might normally do it, just because of the interest of time for this practice. But you can spend as long as you want rolling on the ball in your own practice. I sometimes will spend like up to 20 minutes doing this type of fascial awakening. So just want you to know, like, you have lots of space with that if you want to take more time. So you're going to take the ball and you're going to place it in behind your back, so on the inside of your shoulder blade. And if you can't reach your arm back there, you just put the ball back there and stick your back on the wall. And then you can move your feet away from the wall and then just start to roll up and down. And you can kind of push the ball up and you'll kind of get it to that place right inside your shoulder blade. And we're just going to roll up and down. So this is like a twofer exercise, because it starts getting us into our legs and a little bit of strength work with some squatting. But of course, in a range of motion that feels comfortable for you. So one of the principles of movement that is the most important one, I'd say, for people with arthritis is that we don't move in a range that increases our pain. So you might have creakiness in your knees while you're doing this, or some strain in the hips, but you don't want that to go up while you're doing any of these movements. So just be sure that you're only bending so far as it feels comfortable for you. And then you can close your eyes and just start to breathe here as you say hello to whatever is going on inside that shoulder blade. Definitely feeling some tension here these days with all of the computer stuff going on, with being at home and working from home. So I'm sure you're feeling that. And so we can explore any space between the spine and the shoulder blade. You can also go along the top edge of the shoulder here. You just want to make sure you don't roll right on your spine. Okay, so let's take 5 breaths here. And you can breathe in through your nose and either out through your nose or your mouth, whatever feels like a good release for you. So this is really just about arriving. So letting our mind start to arrive into the body, letting our awareness start to arrive into the body, and just becoming a little bit more of a witness to what is actually happening inside our structure today. And then you can take the ball down a little bit lower, roll it along the bottom edge of your shoulder blades, just on that right side, and then you're going to drop it down to your hip, and we're going to put it right in the meaty part of the bum, and we're going to roll on the wall. Some people get really mad at me when I teach this one because it can be a little bit surprisingly tender for people. And so you're just kind of rolling in a circle on the wall, and this is the gluteal muscles, and they're huge muscles, and there's a ton of fascial overlay that happens through here that goes into the lower back. So just if it's sharp, if the response in your muscles is like, ooh, what is that? Just go easy, right? We're not trying to plow, and this is not like the deepest massage of your life. This is just a gentle like introduction. It's like, hi there, just checking in. Want to see what's going on down in the hip there. So we'll just spend another 3 or 4 breaths here. Really try to relax your shoulders and just feel into a comfortable circular motion for your legs. Let the exhale go out of your mouth maybe. Just releasing any tension that you feel is built there. And again, like I said, you can spend so much time. I love to turn to my side and go down kind of the side of my hip here and into my leg. I'm not going to do that today, but you can definitely explore that. And then we're going to take the tennis ball down to the floor and just put it under your right foot. And you're just going to roll the tennis ball forward and back under your right foot. And so this is more of an integration technique. So integration is the most important part of the yoga practice, because we can do movements all day long, but if we don't integrate them through the rest of the body and through the mind, they won't stick, and we'll just go right back to the same tension pattern as before the practice happened. So when we do something like a roll of the ball in the foot after we've opened up the back line with this rolling, it kind of gives us a little bit of an anchor point. So the tissue goes, oh, okay, this is like a new normal that we actually want to embody. And so just taking a couple breaths there and feeling that connection through the back line, all the way from the back of your shoulders down through the bottom of your foot. Because believe it or not, the fascia at the bottom of your foot connects all the way up through the back of your head and actually comes right in behind your eyes here. So rolling out your foot will have an effect on tension through your skull and your face. It's pretty wild. All right, so once you finish that, I just want you to stop, stand, both feet on the ground, just close your eyes and take a breath, and just notice how amazingly different it is from side to side. I'm just feeling that difference. I feel longer on one side now. I feel this sort of real kind of lopsided feeling. So let's fix that up and go to the other side. So you're going to take that tennis ball into the left shoulder now, right inside the shoulder blade, not on your spine, and just roll up and down. So get a sense of, where does your body need some pressure? Where does that drilling in with the ball feel good? And it might be a little bit uncomfortable, right? Like there's knots back there, and you're knocking on those knots a little bit. So it's okay if it doesn't feel amazing, but we don't want any sharp pain happening or any real searing, hot, nervy kind of pain. No shooting down the arm, that kind of thing. So if any of that is happening, just pull back how much you're pushing on the ball, okay? Good, so let's just take 3 more breaths here. Exploring the top of the shoulder blade if you like, the bottom of the shoulder blade. Just noticing sensation. And maybe the left side is different than the right side was. Certainly is for me. Good, okay, and then from here we're gonna slide that tennis ball down, and we're gonna pop it underneath your hip, so meaty part of the hip against the wall. So you kind of have to turn just a little bit, and then we can take those circles, and you just get into the gluteal muscles and the outside of the hip rotators. And these tend to be pretty tight in most people. It's just because we have a sitting culture, and a lot of what we do in movement is forward motion, right? Riding a bike, walking the dogs, going upstairs, downstairs, those kinds of things. So these parts of the body on the sides get pretty tight, and they can cause pain in the joints. So just unraveling that a little bit is really beneficial. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And feel free to release the breath out with a sigh or an open mouth exhale anytime that you kind of feel like something's building up, tension is building up in your body or even in your mind. All right, and then let's take that down to the foot. On the other side, we'll just integrate this left side. So just rolling back and forth. And so you can also get underneath your toes and go side to side with the roll. Any form of fascial awakening under that foot is going to be really beneficial and helpful. You can lean into the tennis ball as well, whatever works. Good. Just one more breath here. And then you're going to step off that tennis ball and just get it out of the way so you don't trip over it. And stand easy in both feet. Close your eyes and just take a deep breath in and out and just notice again what you notice. Things maybe have shifted again a little bit differently now that you've balanced out both sides. Maybe your arms feel longer. It's amazing when we just massage that fascial tissue, how our limbs actually change, how they're being held in our body. So it's quite powerful. Okay, so from there, I want you to find a chair. You're gonna find a chair and you're just gonna have a seat and you're gonna sit on the edge of your chair. So you're not you're not on the back side of it, you're just sitting a little bit forward so that you actually have to sit up tall and find your structure. And yeah, Maya, you can do these ones with me if you want to. So we're just gonna start with some breath stretches. So these are just a lovely way to get the spine moving and then actually awaken our awareness of the breath. So the first one, we're gonna welcome breath into the back of our bodies. So I invite you to interlace your fingers if that's available. And then you're either gonna push the hands out in front like this, or you're gonna press the palms away. So if you've got a lot of arthritis in your hands, this might not feel good to go this way. So you can just go this way, whichever one works for you. And of course, if neither work, just push your hands out like this. You don't have to interlace, okay? So whichever one's gonna work for you. And then you're just going to begin to round your back. So tuck your chin, draw your belly button gently towards your spine, and just curl yourself back. And then you're gonna inhale as much as you can into the back of your body. And exhale here. And then again, inhale, press those arms away. And exhale through the back. And one last time, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. And then inhale, open back up through center. We're going to bring the hands around to the back this time and grab a hold of your chair. So the sides of your chair, whatever you can get a hold of. And if grabbing the chair feels like it's too pinchy, just hold the arms behind you like this, okay? Whichever works for you. And you're just going to now open your chest in the opposite way. So your back is going to bend backwards now. You're going to open through the chest, let the spine be extended, and the head can drop back, but just be mindful of the sensation in your neck. You want that to feel comfortable. And you're going to take 3 breaths here. So now we're really trying to fill the breath up through the front of your body. Deep inhale and exhale. Good. Deep inhale here. Full, complete exhale. You can breathe out of your mouth if that feels good. And one more time. Inhale. Open, expand the chest, and exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Okay, and then releasing the hands back to center. The last breath stretch we're going to do is, of course, to open the sides. We've opened the front and the back, so let's open the sides. So we're going to take the left hand and bring it to the shoulder. And then you're going to bring the right hand across and touch your rib cage. So the rib cage is where we want to open into. So you're just going to keep your pelvis really heavy and start to side bend just a little bit into that rib. So you feel the ribs kind of open. And then we're going to breathe right into that side of the body. So inhale into your hand and exhale. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. So I'm breathing out of my mouth just so that you can hear me. So it's a bit of a reminder for you to breathe, but you can breathe in and out of your nose if that feels more comfortable. Good, last exhale here, and then we're just gonna come back through center and switch sides. So bringing the other hand across, hand to the rib cage, and then just begin to lean into a side bend. So this should not cause any strain in your low back. Keep it tight enough or small enough that you feel anchored through your pelvis. And then inhale into these ribs, into your other hand, your left hand. Exhale, soften your neck, your jaw, your face. Good, inhale. Exhale. One last breath in through the side of your body. Fill up those ribs. And exhale. Beautiful, nicely done. Come on back through center and then just pause at center and notice what you notice. Just simply waking up the breath through front, back, and sides, moving the spine, changes things. Yeah, so from here, let's just wake up the shoulders a little bit. So you're gonna let your arms rest beside you. So if you're not sitting forward enough in your chair that your hands can't hang, go ahead and change your position. And so we're just gonna shrug the shoulders up. You're gonna bring the arm bones straight up towards your ears and then just let them come back down. Good, inhaling, bringing the arm bones up. Exhaling, let them come down. So I want you to do this with awareness. So you're noticing how much squeeze of the arm bones up feels good in your neck. If your neck is doing work, you want to go smaller with the lift of the shoulders. We really just want to feel this work coming through the shoulder blades and the arm bones. And then we're going to add a little bit more to this. So on your next time, you're going to come up as you breathe in. And as you exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and roll those arms back and down. Yeah, perfect. Inhaling up. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades a little bit and then back and down. So again, just moving in a range that serves comfort and ease through your neck. We shouldn't have pain increasing as we do this. It should feel like a collective unwind for the shoulder girdle, the chest, and the neck. Beautiful. Just two more. Inhaling up. Exhaling back and down. Last one. And back and down. Beautiful. All right, fun one for you here. This is called eagle. So we're gonna start with arms and then we might add the legs depending on where you're at today. So you're gonna inhale the arms open and out to the sides of your body. And as you exhale, we're gonna swing the left arm underneath the right arm. So this is like the closest to pretzel yoga I'm gonna give you today. So elbows are kind of hooked together. Maybe you just stay right there and give yourself a hug. So that can be your variation of eagle. If it feels good to go further, you might want to pull the backs of your forearms towards each other like this. Just going to move back so you can see me. So bringing the backs of the arms towards each other. Maybe you even twist the arms together and the palms come to touch, but that doesn't have to happen. These are just options. And so you can be in any one of these places. You can also just be right here if this feels more comfortable for you. And then we're gonna wrap the opposite leg on top if that feels okay. So it's just like crossing your legs in a chair. So you're going to go, you guys are gonna go right, left leg on top of right. And just take a breath here. And if it feels good, you're gonna start to stretch your elbows up and away from your torso. If your hands are connected like this, just reaching the elbows up and just increase that stretch a little bit through the backs of the shoulders. Take a breath in and then exhale, release the elbows back down, release those arms back open and release the legs back to neutral. Good, take a deep breath, inhale, arms up, reach up, take a big breath of air and exhale, draw the hands back through center. Beautiful. And then the arms are going to open back up and we'll do the other side. So we're going to bring the elbows towards each other and we're going to swing the opposite arm underneath this time. So you're going right under left, I believe, this time around. And again, remember the variations. We can start with a hug. That might be enough stretch. So you want to feel some sensation maybe through the backs of the shoulders, maybe down the tops of the arms. Maybe you want to increase that. If it's feeling pretty good, you can come to a position with the backs of the forearms together. And then we're going to go the opposite way with the legs. So now right's going over left. And just feeling that connection to this eagle posture. So once we're here in this twisted place, we start to open up. We lift the shoulders, we lift the arms up, or elbows up, depending on which version you're doing, and just feeling the stretch. The armpits get a little bit of a release, the back of the shoulder. Breathing in, and then exhale, softening back down, unwinding, and just breathing all the way out, opening those arms out to the side this time, and we'll just pump the arms a couple times up and down. So now we're flying, eagles are flying now. Beautiful, awesome. All right, so one more posture in the chair for us, just to open up the hips a little bit. So I'm just gonna angle this down so you can see my legs. So you're gonna bring your feet long out in front of you, and you really do need to sit right on the edge of your chair. So your sitting bones are kind of tipping forward on the chair. And we're going to just cross the right leg over the left leg. So you're just crossing your ankles like you're chilling. Just gonna watch some TV here. And as you breathe, you're gonna draw this right leg up the left. So pulling this ankle up your shin, and maybe above your knee, as far as you can get it without having to grab and pull, okay? And then from there, you're gonna bend your left leg and walk the foot back until you're in what I like to call figure 4 position. It's like the number 4 upside down. Okay, so this might be enough for you. You might be feeling a lot in the hip here or down the leg into the IT band. If there's strain at all in the knee, walk the bottom foot back out a little bit, okay? And if this is feeling comfortable, you can flex through this top leg and start to hinge from the hips and bow yourself forward. I like to put my hands on my hips so I remember to keep them anchored, and I remember that I'm moving from the pelvis. I want to turn the pelvis forward as I come into this flexion. And then that really turns on the stretch in the outer hip. Yeah, you can feel that. So just pausing there, take a deep breath in and out. And then just bringing your hands to your heart center, palms together at the chest. We're just gonna take a little twist from here. So you're gonna be in your forward fold, strong, strong top leg. And as you exhale, you're gonna twist towards that top leg. So rotating gently through the shoulders, the rib cage, and your belly is strong here. So draw the navel in a little bit so you're connected through your core. And just breathe in, say hello to that hip. A little more stretch. Good, and then inhale back to center. Beautiful. Exhale, come on up through the pelvis and the flexion, and then just release that leg out. Give it a little shake. Give it a little love. And then we'll come on into the other side. So we're gonna extend the legs out in front, and then we're gonna cross the other ankle over top. So again, you're gonna sit back for a moment, anchor into the pelvis. Just make sure we're really even across the pelvis here. So the sitting bones should feel like they're both equally anchored on your chair. And then you're gonna draw this left ankle up your shin. So we gotta do some work in the hip flexor here. The front of the hip has to work to pull that leg up. It's really hard work, especially if the hip is tight. So this is good practice for strengthening. See how far up you can pull that foot without needing to grab it and pull it, okay? It's okay if you need to grab just to get it above the knee, but I want you to try to do that with strength. And then you're gonna pull the right knee back and start to walk it back to a comfortable position, wherever you get a little sensation in the outer hip, but no increase in pain or strain or any burning. All right, and then from there, you might just hang out right here. You might stay in this position of figure 4 and just breathe and relax into the stretch. Or you might bend forward, hinging at the hip, the pelvis tips forward, and we bring ourselves into a little bit more intensity perhaps in the sensation. Just make sure you're not getting searing pain in the knee, or you're not having any discomfort in your low back. So if any of that's happening, just dial back and do a little less. Take a breath here. Where can you soften? Where can you allow? And then bringing the hands to the chest, palms together, just as a place marker. As we twist, we want to keep the chin over top of the hands. And on your exhale, you're going to twist towards that top leg, keeping the hands at the heart, and the heart twists underneath the chest, or underneath the chin. Good, and the belly is engaged, so we do have some core connection happening here. Just holding us in integrity in our twist. Good, staying strong through that top foot. And then on your inhale, bring it back to center. Good, and then pull yourself back from that flexion and just release that leg, give it a little shake, a little rub. Good, and then just let those legs have a little shake back and forth. All right, we're almost there. We have one standing pose that I'd really like to show you because this one's just really accessible for everyone. If we still have time, Maya, is that okay?
Yeah, that's no problem. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Thank you. So I'm just going to move my camera a little so you can see me here. I'm going to try to find the best position. So this is called Warrior One, and I love this posture for people with arthritis, especially because for me, when I was really, really sick and flared up, I did not feel like a warrior. I felt like everything was really hard. So this is a really powerful posture for me, just even metaphorically, to embody the strength that I have inside, even just from a resilient place, even if it's not so much physical, but mental, emotionally, I know that I'm going to be okay. So we just bring our hands to our hips. We're going to step forward with the left leg. So we're standing in a split stance, but my hips are square. I'm not twisting at all. I'm staying right straight forward on my mat or whatever it is that you're standing on. And I want to make sure that both my heels are planted on the ground and comfortable. Okay? So then once you have that, I want you to squeeze your bum. Squeeze your bum and activate the back of your hips. And then you're going to start to sit down. So you're going to bend into your front leg. So your knee is going to bend. And as you bend in that front leg, press out through the back heel. So you're getting this extension in your hip. So I'm just trying to show you different angles you can see. So we go from straight leg, we bend the knee, and the back hip extends. So the torso and the pelvis stay nice and neutral. Yeah, so this is a little bit of work, right? We've got to use the legs a little bit to be here. And then we're just going to lift the arms up. So you have options. You can have the arms bent, elbows bent like so, or you can straighten the arms and go into full warrior arms up overhead, whatever feels good for you. And from this place, we're just going to alternate the arms moving. So this is so good for the brain, really good for the emotional brain. So we drop the right arm down, left arm stays, and then we switch. Left arm comes up, right arm drops down, but we're maintaining that really strong grounded sensation in the legs, and we're connecting to our breath. So you might close your eyes here if you want to challenge your balance. Or you might just visualize your own sense of yourself as a warrior. Good, last round with the arms. Ending with that left arm in the air. And then exhale, both hands down, and we'll step ourselves all the way back. Just pause and notice what you notice. And then we'll come on into the other side. So we're going to step forward now with the right leg. And when you step, so the step is part of the posture. It's really important when you step that we keep the pelvis square left to right. So if we go too big, you'll see my hip has to turn, and then I turn myself back. I end up torquing my back and my knee, and I don't really honor the true range of motion I have in my hips. So I want you just to find that. And then go ahead with straight legs, just feel into both heels, connect to the ground, and then go ahead and sink down. Stop, drop into that front knee, press through the back leg, activate your bum, really feel that work through the back line, and then relax your arms. And then we'll add that arm movement. So right arm to the sky, and then exhale, switching, letting the left arm draw up, right arm draws down. And just move in flow with your breath. Strong legs and soft shoulders. Nice, easy, full breaths. Remember, you can have bent elbows to do this. We don't have to go through straight arms. Great. And then just finishing that up, bringing the hands back down. And draw that leg back to center. And just pause and notice what you notice. Good, just closing your eyes. Take one final breath here. And I'll share a quote to close, and it's by Rumi. Rumi says, "Your hand opens and closes and opens and closes. If it were always a fist or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding, the two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as birds' wings." Thanks for listening, guys, participating.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lindsay. That was so wonderful. I know that, that our viewers, people with arthritis, such as yourself and myself, are going to be using this video a lot. I know that I certainly am. So thank you so much for this. It has been so peaceful, so nice for my joints, and I'm excited to follow along in more of your videos on your website.
Awesome. Oh, it's my pleasure, and I really hope that it is helpful, and I hope everyone keeps moving even though we're stuck at home right now.
Well, thank you so much again, Lindsay. And we also want to thank our wonderful viewers for joining us. Please feel free to leave any feedback or comments below. Thank you.